in Mzimba district. Welcoming the Vice President, Sub-Traditional Authority Tula said they expect USI to spearhead the vision Chilima had. Among other groups USI is expected to meet are women, youth groups, vendors and Nzuzu University students. This is the first time USI has come up north since his appointment as the country's Vice President.
Now, immigration authorities reveal the daily printed passports in the country will remain at 800 per day. This is despite completion of maintenance works to improve the passport issuance system. Pempero Malimba reports.
Speaking while confirming the completion of the maintenance work, the department's spokesperson Wellington Chiponde said their printing capacity will remain the same, but Chiponde expressed optimism that the department will experience less queues at its field offices where provision of various services is underway.
What we were doing was to make sure that we streamline the other processes. We want to do away with issues of backlog. We are also addressing issues of congestions at our offices. And as we are decongesting our offices, we want also to streamline all other processes so that we provide service of value to all Malawians.
Recently, Parliamentary Committee on Security and Defense Chairperson Salim Bagas said challenges faced in provision of passport printing services to Malawians can only be dealt with if procurement of more machines is done. But government spokesperson Moses Kunkuyu hinted that the government was doing everything possible to turn things around at the department and urged Malawians to embrace patience in order to experience positive impact. In February this year, the department suspended passport printing services following technical challenges, only to resume the service in March. Since then, the department has printed at least 24,000 passports by June 30, 2024.
Lilongwe City Mayor Esther Sagawa says she is determined to ensure quality work in the implementation of development projects in the city. She adds the council will strive to work closely with various construction companies to ensure improved standards. Taufiki Chipinga has a report read by Brenda Kayo.
Sagawa said the council is committed to make sure that the projects are not substandard.
We are so committed to make sure that we are finishing these projects, and therefore we have some funds that are committed for the projects that are being said. That is why whenever they are lamenting any challenge, we always come in immediately to make sure that the project keeps on going.
Blantyre City Mayor Joseph Makwinja said he was impressed with the progress of various projects underway in the city.
Blantyre and Lilongwe being the biggest city in Malawi, we think it wise that we should come and appreciate what our friends counterparts in Lilongwe are doing. Today I'm very, very much impressed with what Lilongwe Mayor and all the council of Lilongwe are doing. We have inspected or visited more than 7 projects which are almost complete.
Some of the sites which were visited are St. Lord, Bombay Street in Area 2 and Box Caravan at Area 49, New She Lane.
In other news, student organizations at the Malawi University of Science and Technology MUST have initiated a campaign to raise 20 million kwacha for needy students. Students' Council President Alexander Kude says the funds will cover tuition, food and accommodation costs for over 600 first-year needy students. Llewellyn Mpasa explains in this report read by Thomas Kachere.
The student groups held a campus-wide cleaning exercise, raising nearly 500,000 kwacha. Kude said the funds generated from this initiative will be allocated to the first-year students as they await loans and grants.
We are arranging a fundraising activity, a car wash fundraising activity with banks as well as other parastatals of government, industries and companies. We are reaching out to them to source funds for students who are needy and deserving. So as MUST, we this year have committed to 2 cohorts of first years. We are calling them cohort C and D. Cohort C was selected last year in 2023 and cohort D has just been selected recently this year, 2024. After the selection, what happened was we usually, as normally, apply for loans board. So they give us and grant us loan for carrying of our lives as university students. So with this MAST D, it has been difficult because whenever they were selected, they just had a month before they came to campus.
MAST Student Society of Disaster Risk Management President Priska Namukobwe made the call to corporate entities and well-wishers to back the campaign.
We have taken the first step to do this fundraising, in which we have so many other measures to be taken in the near future. For example, the car washing activity that we're planning. But we're also expecting other organizations and stakeholders, the banks, to come about and help us in these activities.
MAST Leo Club President Frecha Jikuni said the students are committed to going to the extra mile to ensure that their first-year colleagues continue their education without unnecessary disruptions.
Us partaking in this, we know that we are really helping, because what we do as Leos and Lions, we are there to save. We say where there's a Leo, where there is a need, there is a Leo. So us being part of this, we understood that students are going to be helped because there is our need for it, and we just provided that help.
The proceeds realized from the initiative will be directly allocated to assist over 600 first-year students facing financial difficulties at the university.
The government is once again pledging to effect a tax waiver for the importation of electric vehicles to fight climate change and promote clean energy in the country. Energy Minister Ibrahim Matola disclosed this in Lilongwe when the UNDP launched an electric vehicle. Wezi Gausi has a report.
According to the Minister of Energy, Ibrahim Matola, electric vehicles are not only environmentally friendly, but also cost-effective in the long run, hence the decision to waive the tax. He says the government is committed to implement strategies such as the e-mobility to decarbonize the environment.
There are some incentives which have been highlighted in the energy sector, for example, to promote the usage of e-vehicles. The tax exemptions are there so that many people can afford, because we are talking about affordability, sustainability and reliability. So these are the things where you just wake up and then drive, not thinking of, I don't have gasoline, I have to pass there. But we need these reliable, sustainable actions in the energy sector.
UNDP resident representative Fenella Flost says UNDP is committed to supporting initiatives that promote access to affordable and clean energy, and they are proud to be leading by introducing an electric vehicle to their office, which is already using green energy.
One of the things we were talking about is that the government has just put in place a waiver for import tax for energy vehicles. It's very important to see that that's applied, including to to green motorbikes, for example, to e-motorbikes, but also, of course, training. I think it's very important that together with the e-vehicles, there is the capacity to do maintenance here in country. So I'm just so honoured that the Minister is here, because it's a huge opportunity to discuss how to address some of these challenges.
Meanwhile, the UNDP said electric vehicle innovation and technology helps to grow the economy as entrepreneurs seek alternative sources of energy which are reliable, such as solar or other renewable sources of energy.
You're watching news on Times TV. We'll be back shortly after the break.
And then suddenly felt the burn. Don't let heartburn or indigestion ruin your meal. Try Tummy Sid. It gets to work fast to stop acids. Tummy Sid. Fast, soothing relief from heartburn.
It's a new day. You know what I mean, don't you know?
The social front, some households say their livelihoods have tremendously improved through the COVID-19 urban cash intervention and the price shock response program. The government launched the two interventions to mitigate adverse health and economic effects of the pandemic on urban poor populations. The programs target poor communities in Lilongwe, Blantyre, Zomba and Mzuzu. Feston Malegezo reports.
Tikasoweka nga chomene upangiri wa machitiro ya vinthu nga pati pagulu kusheya ndalama nyengo zinji tikadyera nanga.
This is Fanny Sieni, chairperson for Timasilila Savings and Loans Group in Mzuzu City. Sieni, a mother of 5, says through technical assistance from organizations such as COMSIP, the group's operations are up to date and members have access to loans at low interest rates since they own the capital. The group has over 4.6 million kwacha. She further says they have businesses at both individual and group level to ensure sustainability of the money.
Vana vane vose kwa sono kusuzikanauka cha kulera olondrama iyi nguisanga nditu mndondomeko yake iwemi.
Sieni made the remarks when the National Local Government Finance Committee toured savings and loans groups in Mzuzu to appreciate the impact of the COVID-19 urban cash intervention and the price shock response program for Mzuzu urban poor populations. Vice Board Chairperson for National Local Government Finance Committee, Lilian Kofi, said village savings and loans groups have the potential to improve people's social and economic status.
And we've seen so many things happening. The people, they should learn from each other. They should be sharing notes so that they see where there are gaps so that they can fill those gaps. But so far what we've seen is very impressive in all the districts, and I think it's because of the structures that have been in place, that have been put in place.
COMSIP Chief Executive Officer Tenson Gondwe said their role is to assist beneficiaries to be resilient to shocks through sustainable utilization of the money.
Actually, building resilience is that we try to build the capacity so that they have economically, they are improved, they have economic strength in their communities and in their households. And now if we build that particular resilience, and now we need to sustain that resilience through group organizations, through group training, as well as also maybe turning the groups into cooperatives. In that way they become sustainable. So resilience and sustainability, they go hand in hand. Once they become resilient, they can become sustainable.
The COVID-19 urban cash intervention is the first major cash transfer program in Malawi to focus on urban areas.
Understanding the word of God is said to be critical in overcoming various hardships people face in the country. Presiding Bishop for Showers of Blessings, Apostle Joshua Milanzi, stressed this in Blantyre during a special service marking the church's 20 years of ministry. Llewellyn Mpasa has more in this report read by Thomas Kachere.
Apostle Milanzi underscored the need for the country to rely on God, particularly in these challenging times marked by moral, social and economic difficulties. He noted that the current situation requires spiritual resilience and steadfastness in faith.
Challenges are there and they will never end. As long as you are living, know for sure challenges will be there. But you must put things in place, principles, following God, trusting God. God is all powerful and power on this planet Earth. God is above everything. So when we trust in God, we shall overcome. So we must continue as Malawians, as Christians, to trust in God. We must put God first. When God goes before us, victory is imminent.
Mogometso Kabero, Bishop for Faith Covenant Ministries from Botswana, said the nation should continue standing firm in faith and to remain committed to the ministry.
Sometimes visions die with vision bearers. So it's very important to make sure we protect the vision bearer so that the work of God can continue impacting many lives. Many poor will be taken care of. Orphans will be taken care of. Many street children will be taken out of the streets. Many people's lives will be improved and developed by the power of the preaching of the word of God.
Reflecting on the journey, Church administrator Ulemu Mchulu said he is happy for the growth of the church and the lives transformed through its ministry.
Church is part of government. So the coming of Showers of Blessing Church in Chireka has assisted to improve some government activities and also spiritual life of a number of people. The church has transformed a number of people spiritually. You know, we are a church, but sometimes we also have seminars whereby we teach people how to rely on their own, apart from teaching them the word of God.
The event also featured special prayers with leaders urging the faithful to remain united in faith and purpose.
Still with religious affairs, Mbawa Church of Central Africa Presbyterian in Blantyre has graduated 14 students from Veritas College International for the first time in its history. The college's international representative, Overton Chimombo, says they equip Christians with skills to help them interpret and teach the word of God. More in this report by Kerry Naporo.
In a bid to enable local churches in Malawi to develop a God-centered and biblically based vision and to equip members for service and leadership that transforms their local communities, Veritas College International is committed to making Bible and leadership training accessible to city and rural church leaders and members for whom residential Bible training is out of reach. Veritas College International representative Overton Chimombo said the college is expecting to raise more teachers of the gospel of God as it is progressing with the Veritas International representative Overton Chimombo said the college is expecting to raise more teachers of the gospel of God as it is progressing with the program at CCAP.
The plans are the same. They are going to continue in Module 2, where they are going to learn now the first 5 books of the Bible. They did the epistles. Now they are going to do the first 5 books of the Bible, which is the narrative. Yes, Genesis to Exodus. Genesis up to Deuteronomy.
In an interview, Mbawa CCAP leading pastor Reverend Joseph Mdula said the first cohort from the college will serve as pioneers in advancing the program at the church.
ambiri waona zimene zachitikazi ziwapangisa kuti kohoti imene kubwerayo tikhale nathu ambiri komanso amene waona kuti akhala ngati ndi mapioneers amene atithandizire kuti pamene Mulungu akulalikira azilalikidwa bwino ndipo pamene tikusankha anthu oti atumikire ndi kuti ambiri amene titaziwasankha tiziyang'ana amene apanga maphunziro.
Meanwhile, one of the graduates, Aubrey Pitani, expressed his excitement upon completion of his studies, saying, apart from profiting him, the lessons will also profit the people around him.
The church should expect great things from me. I've been transformed, and the Veritas has done a lot to my life as well to my knowledge. I'll be able to share what I've achieved in this course of Module 1 Veritas. I will share it with my colleagues, my family members, and everybody.
The students were awarded certificates in Bible interpretation, practical exegesis. Okay. The students were awarded certificates in Bible interpretation.
That's the news, but before we go, the headlines again. Opposition DPP justifies Mutarika's sudden absence on the final day of the party's elective conference in Blantyre. Immigration authorities reveal that the number of printed passports will remain at 800 per day, and government has once again hinted on introducing tax waivers on electric vehicles. You can get more on these and other stories by visiting times.mw, liking and following our Facebook page, Times 360 Malawi, X at Times 360 Malawi, and by subscribing to 1895 by dialing star 1895 hash. I'm Matilda Majawa. Have a lovely night.
Good evening. I'm Wai Goela with the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Expect windy, partly cloudy with locally cold conditions tonight and during the early morning due to the influence of easterly air mass. In the Shira Valley, expect windy and mild conditions tonight and in the morning. Expect windy and hot conditions in the afternoon. In the Southern Highlands, expect windy and cold conditions with patches of fog tonight and in the early morning. Partly cloudy and mild conditions will persist in the afternoon. In central areas, expect windy and locally cold conditions tonight and in the morning. Expect generally warm and dusty conditions in the afternoon. Lakeshore areas, expect windy and partly cloudy conditions tonight and in the morning. Windy and hot conditions are expected in the afternoon. In northern areas, expect windy and cloudy conditions with isolated rain drizzles tonight and in the morning. Partly cloudy and mild conditions will persist later on in the afternoon. Forecast temperatures. Gabu minimum 18 degrees Celsius and maximum 31 degrees Celsius. Blantyre minimum 14 degrees Celsius and maximum 26 degrees Celsius. Lilongwe minimum 10 degrees Celsius and maximum 26 degrees Celsius. Mangochi minimum 18 degrees Celsius and maximum 28 degrees Celsius. And Mzuzu minimum 8 degrees Celsius and maximum 25 degrees Celsius. Wind. Expect cloudy conditions over the north. Forecast for Wednesday. Times for sunrise and sunset tomorrow, 20 August. Mzuzu, sunrise 4 minutes to 6, sunset 20 minutes to 6. Lilongwe, sunrise 1 minute to 6, sunset 19 minutes to 6. Blantyre, sunrise 5 minutes to 6, sunset 28 minutes to 6. That's the weather forecast with me, Mwai Goelo.